Grab 10 people off the street, ask them to name the most beautiful car ever built, and I'd put money on at least 9 of them telling you it was the Jaguar E-Type. The trouble with most old cars, though, is that the 21st century driving experience often doesn't live up to the promise of those looks. But what if you could have a car that looked like a beautiful old E-Type, but which also braked, stopped and steered like a modern sports car? Well, a company called Eagle has been building cars just like that for over 20 years. It counts Martin Brundle and Ross Brawn among its many customers. The Eagle we're driving today, though, is even more special than most. It's the £700,000 Eagle Low Drag GT. Everything about this car is new. This isn't just a restored E-Type with a few sort of hopped up power mods. This is a brand spanking new car. The bodywork's not steel, it's aluminium, handcrafted aluminium, the whole thing. The interior's new. It might look like an E-Type interior, but some serious changes going on behind there. Air conditioning, climate control. You've got 4.7 litre straight 6. It's aluminium instead of cast iron. 360 horsepower. Because everything is aluminium, the car only weighs just over 1,000 kilos. Imagine that, that's like having an F-Type engine in a Fiesta. And anyway, headline power figures aren't really what this car's about. It's all about drivability. It's a road car. It might look like an old race car, but it's actually a road car. It's designed to be enjoyed on the road. Torque is the name of the game. And this thing's got stacks. You getting that?
So the idea of the Low Drag Coupe was based on the car that Jaguar originally built in the early 60s for GT racing, which was a stillborn project that the series never developed, but it's just the most beautiful shape for me, and we thought, well, let's make the perfect shape but make a road car rather than a race car. The basis is an original Jaguar E-Type, and we actually rescue a car that's probably beyond conventional restoration, that the body's deteriorated too much, so we take that car and dismantle it fully, and then we'll fully recondition the body, except we'll use aluminium, so use the same concept of the original lightweights Jaguar built in the 63. So in the case of the Low Drag, we're spending over 7,000 hours on the construction of each car, so you're looking at an 18-month build time for one car. So you've got the supreme exclusivity of in effect, the most exclusive hand-built car in the world. And also because there's such tiny production numbers, we're looking at producing one car every 12 to 18 months.
It's funny because the environment, everything you look at tells you you're in an old car, but it doesn't feel old. The steering's light, it's precise, there's no slop. The gear change is pretty slick too. Early E-Types were notorious for having a slow gear change. This one's got a modern 5-speed, done to Eagle's own design, and it's actually pretty slick. There's one thing that Eagle hasn't changed, and that's the view down the bonnet. That classic E-Type view with a bonnet bulge, the wings on either side. The finish is amazing in this car as well. You only have to see how it's put together. Look at the detail inside. This is a hand-built car, pretty much from scratch. The big question, I suppose, you're all wanting to know is, does this car feel special enough to warrant £700,000 asking price? That's the sort of money that buys you some serious modern-day supercar. In performance, there's no comparison. This is quick. It's nowhere quick. If you want to go around a track as fast as possible, if you want to blitz people at the traffic lights, there are faster cars. But I've driven things like the 918. To be honest, they doesn't have the sense of occasion of this. This is a proper feel-good car. Paul Eagle reckons this car's pipes are too noisy, but you know, I beg to differ. Come on. How could you ever never get bored of that. You know, it sounds like heresy to say this, but I've never really been into the E-Type myself. I was born in the mid-70s. I'm an XJS kind of kid. The E-Type just seemed like it was a car for my dad's generation. That spindly little track. This thing. Yeah, this is my kind of car.